Hello and welcome back to Wireman's Whimsy. It is Throwback Thursday, so I've pulled the Good Feeling stamp set off my very recently retired shelf, and I'm using the Year on My Mind and in My Heart. And then I used two of the stamps from the Layering Leaves set and did tone on tone with Moody Mauve ink on Moody Mauve paper, and then used the bow punch to punch them out. And I also used the Dotted Circles 3D embossing folder to do the background. So I've cut out the centerpiece with a stitched rectangle die. I used this one and I cut it this way, and then I cut it again like this. Now, I've also used the same die. I used it this way on this one, and I'm using it this way on the matte background. And I'm going to show you how I did that. So I'm just going to put some adhesive on here. This edge isn't trimmed yet, so I'm just going to pop this down like this. And I'm going to take my die and I'm going to place it so that the edges are right on the edge of the already cut piece. I'm going to make sure that I'm square, so I'm not actually going to cut the rest of it. That, and then I'm going to grab some sticky notes and just pop them down like this. And this is how you can basically resize any die to cut whatever size shape that you need. You just have to line the die back up again and trim that extra piece off. It's a trick that I use quite often if I don't have the size of die that I need for the size of the greeting. So we're just going to pop that all over there for now, out of the way. I love this Moody Mauve. It's got such a richness of color to it. So that is our greeting now. Again, I cut the inside greeting with the die this way and the outside greeting with the die, or the outside mat with the die that way. And now I need to run this through my folder. So I wanted it slightly offset, so you can completely center this, and you can use all of the kind of divots and baubles to line things up, but I'm going to make sure that I'm slightly off center, but still a little bit square. I just need it to shift this way. There we go, like that. So you can see that my circle is not in the middle, it's off to the side a little bit, and that's where my greeting is going to go. So I'm just going to run that through the embossing, the cut and emboss machine. I love the size of these, this embossing folder. And the So Swirly one is the same. It's really large. It's very good if you're doing any kind of scrapbooking because you get such a larger amount of coverage. So I'm going to take my Moody Mauve card base, and I'm going to get a new Stampin' Seal out. That one ran out. So because this again is a very detailed folder, I'm going to put adhesive all the way around the edges so that they don't kind of pop up and waffle around. So we're just going to line that up like we normally do, equidistant top, bottom, and side. And then when we drop it down, it goes down evenly. This I did dimensionals on, but I did dimensionals kind of in the middle and on the one side because I want to tuck my leaves underneath, and I didn't want to run into any dimensionals and not be able to put the leaves where I wanted them. So I'm going to pop this. Oh, and you know what I did? I put it on backwards after all of that. This was meant to go to this side, but it's going to be covered up, so I'm not overly worried about it. I'm just going to drop that down like that. So you can't really see that the circle is off center, but I do prefer it just slightly this way. So what I've got is I've got my 3 sets of leaves, and one I've cut the tail off, and that one's going to go right under here like this. I've put adhesive dots on the back. I thought this was the easiest way to mount these leaves. And we're just tucking this set in like this and popping them down. And then the next set, oh, I used the wrong one. Okay, so we're just going to peel this one up. It's because I've got 2 of one and 1 of the other, so I'm just going to peel that off for now. And then we'll finish this up. So I make mistakes all the time when I'm making cards. The trick of it is, if you don't actually tell anybody, they don't know. So you don't have to go, oh, I'm so sorry, I made a mistake on this. And unless you spelt their name wrong, there's really nothing that they're going to notice that's wrong. They're going to think it's a beautiful handmade card and be very thankful that you took the time to make it for them. So this one with the end trimmed off is going right down here at the bottom like this. And then using those adhesive dots to put it down tight. So you can add in some bling if you want. It would kind of echo the pop outs in the almost looks like eyelet, but it's not the eyelet folder. But you can also just leave it like this, which is what I'm going to do because I love how busy this is in behind. So thank you so much for watching this Throwback Thursday using the Good Feelings stamp set. And let's create together again soon.